Hello people! Today we're going to do this hedgehog set. It's pretty simple, straightforward set with some cute little hedgehogs. And we're going to be using short ovals. Okay, most of these are going to be Beetles polishes with one exception. And I've already pre-prepped my tips, as you can tell already, as I always do. If anybody's interested in a tutorial on how I prep the nail tips, holler, let me know in the comments, and I'll do one. But I'm figuring most of you guys probably know how to do that, so I haven't bothered. This set took me about an hour and a half to do, so it was fairly quick. Super easy. Pretty much anybody should be able to do this one. Now, there's only going to be one layer of polish on these. Frankly, there should have been 2 coats on the pink, those solid pink nails, but I forgot, so there's only one on all of them. This one is going to be kind of a heavy coat, which is why I didn't do a base color on this. But we're going to just dab on the colors that we're using. And this is the one exception to the colors, this Venalisa Mus Gel. And I'm going to put this on with not a brush because it's thick, so I'm just going to use my other end of my cuticle pusher for this. I do have to say, this tool, this cuticle pusher with this thing on the other end like that, I get so much use out of this. I use it for all kinds of stuff. Okay, and then nextly, a little dab of the pink that we just used, not too much. On some of these I got a little too much pink. That we just want a little bit. Like that might be even a little much there. Okay, then we're going to use an ombre brush. And we're going to just very lightly, we're just going to run the brush from the top to the bottom, and we're going to end up with a kind of a, I don't know what you want to call it. I've done this with browns and a little bit of green, and it makes a nice wood grain. So I'm just using this other color. It's going to give me a streaky color background. I don't know what else to call it. You don't want to brush over it too much because it'll just turn to muddy yuckiness. But make sure you've covered the entire nail, especially since I didn't do a base color underneath this. Okay, and there we are. Easy peasy. Oh, nope, I'm going to go again. Now see, that's a little too much brushing now. It's starting to muddy up, and I'm not liking that, but I don't know why I kept going so much on there. But anyway, that's how we do it. Super easy. As I said, it makes, if you do it with the browns and a tiny little bit of green, it makes a nice wood grain, which I have used on some stuff. I'm going to do one more of these, then I'll finish all the rest off camera. Also, I forgot to mention, clean your brush off after every one. You don't want to keep just using the same one over and over without cleaning it, because then you will end up with a big muddy mess. You won't get your streaks anymore. This one also has got a little too much of that gray in there. Now I kind of pulled these colors for this set off of the hedgehog decals that I used. I thought they made kind of nice fallish colors. Okay. That's a little bit better on the pink. And once again, now I think I did not clean my brush at the beginning or after that last one, so this one is going to be muddier than the other ones. Came out a bit better looking. Okay, and there we go. And as I said, I'll finish the rest off camera. And now we're moving on to the hedgehog stickers. I believe I got these on Ally. If they didn't come from Ally, then they were on Amazon. Possibly you could get them on either one. But I've had these pretty much since last year. I was waiting for fall again before I did something with them. And this is what I came up with. I'm going to just cut out the ones we're going to use. And then I'm going to line them up here on the fingers I want them to go on so that I don't end up screwing up, putting them in the wrong place. Like that guy is going to go on the thumb. And that one down there. This other one we'll save for the other hand. And I needed one for the middle finger. We're not putting any on the pinky now. And I opted to go with this kind of sitting up one that's got like a pink, kind of like a pink mohawk down the back of his quills, it looks like. Now I left this first part of this decal part in real time, but after we get one on there, I'm going to speed it up. Okay, we're going to then use a stamper. And some water. And we're going to lay this upside down on the stamper. And we're going to dab the back of it with some water, and then we're going to let it sit there for about maybe 30 seconds-ish. Now, as I went along with this, I got a second stamper out, and I started like an assembly line going, where I had one soaking and while I was using one, and then that way I could keep going and not have to wait for them to be soaked off of their backing paper. But with the stamper, we can see exactly where we're going to put it. Get it lined up on there. Now that one had a little bit of a wrinkle, so I'm going to grab a flat silicone tool, and I'm going to use that to kind of squeegee the water off of there, and also try to smooth out wrinkles if there is any. And if you give it a squeegee with that, it will squeeze out, if you've got bubbles, it will squeeze those out, because more than likely there's going to be water underneath the bubble, and you definitely don't want to leave it like that, or it will end up peeling. Although in this case it's going to have encapsulated layers of stuff over it, so I'd be shocked if these peeled off. Moving along, there's the next one. Same thing. To blot off the excess water. And then I will squeegee out any bubbles and water off of there. And there we go. Okay, we're going to pick up the pace here now. I've got my other stamper up there, so that other one is now soaking. This is the one that was soaking, so now we're moving on to the next one right away. It sped things up considerably once I started going with two at a time like that. But you can see there's a bubble on that one. It needs to be smoothed out. And we got one more. Now if you wanted these to pop a little bit more, you could paint the back of them with some white gel polish and cure it, and then stick it down onto the nail. I did not do that because I was going for a little bit more of a subtle look. Now that guy still has a bubbly wrinkle thing going on right there. I'm going to smooth that out. Okay, well that was where we are so far. I'm going to set those aside to dry. And now we're going to go in with these little dried flowers. I got some light pink and some kind of more a darker pink, kind of a reddish pink, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now we're just going to cut off these into little individual ones like those right there that just came out of it. I had the worst time with this trying to keep a grip of this thing so I could trim them off. It just did not want to cooperate, and I didn't realize there was two together either until I picked it up. See, now I wanted to get these cut off of here neatly so I don't break up all these little flowers, and I just could not get a grip on this darn thing. It would have been a lot easier if I didn't have gloves on, I can tell you that. Okay, but we're just going to cut them off of that middle part. And then I will do the same thing with the other color. Now those little bits that are on the mat there, we're just keeping those because we're going to use those also. Surprisingly, I ended up using all of these. I didn't think I was going to need that many, but I guess I put a little more on than I expected to. And there goes again. I've had these in there for eons and I haven't used them, so I've been kind of rummaging around through my stuff lately, looking at stuff I've had for a good while and thinking, okay, I gotta use this in something. So this whole thing sparked from the decals. I started with those, and then I was like, well, what can I do with these? It's gonna be something fairly simple, but also that's going to be cute. And then I came across those flowers. I'm like, okay, they've already got flowers on the hedgehog. We'll just add some more to the party. Okay, now we're going in with base gel. I'm only doing these one at a time. I don't know why I didn't put the base on the whole rack at once and then go from there, but I didn't. So we're doing it one at a time this way. And I just want a few of the flowers, here and there. Now these little tiny flowers, they seem like they're nice and flat, and they're going on there okay. But as we went along, I was starting to notice that some of them stick up a bit more than I anticipated, which is why we ended up having to do the whole file and buff routine here in a bit. And then I decided I didn't want those two darker ones down there at the bottom together, so I'm going to take one back off and move it. I'm going to go with one of the lighter pinks down there now. This poor brush, I mangled this brush up on the last one, trying to break up that copper leaf, and now it's kind of pretty much ruined, so I guess it's going to be demoted to a brush for this kind of stuff. Once again, base coat going on. I looked into getting a hedgehog just out of curiosity, because I've been seeing them and they're really cute. So I looked into it just for the heck of it, and turns out they're illegal to have in California. I did not know that. Why, I don't know, but so I guess I won't be getting one. But I've been seeing some on Instagram lately that are just so cute. There's one I've been following that has little tiny flip-flops that it wears. It just makes me squeal every time I see it on there. And they always show him kicked back doing something with little flip-flops on. They had made a tiny little video game controller, so they had him kicked back in a, curled up on his back, how they do in half a ball, with his little flip-flops on, his little game controller in his hands. It was really cute. Anyway, has nothing to do with this, but just thought I'd share. And we're just going to carry on putting these guys on here. Now I was hoping to keep some of these with the stems. And I think a few of them did manage to make it through to the end that way. But I found that as I was going along, that the stems were not encapsulating under the stuff. They were just sticking up. So we get farther along, I'll be cutting those off. Okay, one more, the little pinky nail. And I'm not sure what I'm doing, but obviously I just bumped my desk, seeing as how the camera was all shaky again. Also, I ended up using a lot more of these little flowers than I had anticipated using. Originally, I just wanted a couple here and there, but once I got going with them, I got a little carried away, as usual. Okay, and here's where we are so far. We're going to set those in to cure. And there they go. Now, we've really sped up now, but now I'm going in with a hefty layer of base coat over them. I had one of the flowers come off, so how it wasn't stuck into the bottom base coat, I don't know, but so I'm being a little more delicate as I'm putting this on. Instead of brushing it down, I'm kind of just plopping it on now. And then we will give that a cure. Well, first we're going to hold it upside down, let it run away from the side edges towards the middle, then we'll cure it. And now we're going in with tempered top coat, a hefty layer of this. Now I'm only showing you one coat of this, but I did do 2 coats because the flowers were sticking up a bit more than I thought they would. And I didn't want to end up filing any of them off. So I did go in with 2 coats of this, just to be on the safe side. And we're going to hold this upside down again for a bit before it goes into cure. And then we are ready for the old file and buff. Now see that stem sticking up? How it didn't stay down in there, I don't know, but anything like that, we're just going to clip those off. We still have a hefty bump there, but that will file down. Actually, this might be before I did the second layer of top coat when I was trimming these off. There was only a few of them here and there, but they needed to get off of there. Okay, and I think I did do another layer at that point. Yeah, I did. Okay, now this is after curing with the 2 layers of top coat. And now we're going to go in with the old file and buff. case you're wondering why I'm not gloved up all of a sudden, this is the second day now. All I had left to finish on this set was the filing, buffing, and the final top coat, so I deemed I could manage to do it without having to have gloves on. So that's what I did. My Halloween nails are looking a bit worse for wear. Both of my thumbs have cracked and I've had to glue those down. And I've had a couple break, which I haven't had in a really long time, so I don't know what happened with that last one, but I don't know. Anyway, they just have to last me till not next week, but I'll be doing my own again at the beginning of the following week. In case you're wondering, I'm using 180 grit buffer, and the rest I will do off camera, and here we go. I'm going to go over them now with a very thin layer of the glossy top. This is the tempered one. And if you want to leave them glossy, that's what they would look like. And cure that. And now the very final one, we're going to do a matte top on these. And you want to be generous with the matte top, because if you try to go too thin, it'll get streaky on you. At least in my experience, that's what happens to me. And we're going to cure those, and there we go, all done. Yay! If you like this set, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, I upload a new video every Saturday. Next time we'll be doing an embossed set in shades of brown for fall. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And that's all I have for you this week. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.